Hello and welcome back to my channel. First of all, we're going to get right into this breakfast casserole recipe. First, we are going to preheat our oven to 400 degrees. Then here we have 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, half teaspoon of pepper, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. The next thing we will need is 10 jumbo eggs is what I have here. You can also use large eggs. They're about the same size. The next thing we are going to use is 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Next, we are going to use 1 cup of half and half. Next, we're going to have 1 pound of cooked breakfast sausage and also 1 pound of cooked bacon. Now, we're going to break the 10 eggs into the bowl and stir them up. Actually, we're going to do the 10 eggs into the bowl. Then we're going to add the 1 cup of half and half and stir them up very, very well. Next, we are going to add the onion powder, which is 2 teaspoons of onion powder. And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of the sea salt. And then we're going to use, I think this is a half a teaspoon of the pepper. And I'm just using black pepper here. I'm using half a teaspoon. And then we will add 1 teaspoon of the garlic powder. And then we're going to stir this up just to get everything well incorporated. Now we're going to add the cheese, which is 1 cup of mozzarella and 1 cup of cheddar cheese. I didn't show the mozzarella earlier, but we are going to add the 1 cup of mozzarella and 1 cup of cheese and then mix it up very well. Well, just mix it up. After we do that, we're going to add our meat in, which is the 1 pound of breakfast sausage. It's not 1 cup, it's 1 pound of breakfast sausage and then 1 pound of cooked bacon broken up into smaller pieces. They don't have to be real small, but just smaller pieces. We're going to mix it. Just mix it to where everything's nice and coated and nice and covered. Now we're going to take a pan. I'm going to spray it down with I have just avocado oil. You could put some parchment paper in it, but it's best to spray it down. And then we're going to put everything together and put everything into the baking dish. Now, I did say to preheat the oven to 400 degrees. And you will see here in a minute that I actually started mine out on 350 and realized it needs to be at 400. So, I did put it in for 400. We're going to put it in for 400 for 25 minutes. But you're going to put it in for this 25 minutes. See, I do change it down to 350 and I should have kept it at 400. Now, about 5 minutes before this is done, at about 20 minutes, you're going to add about a 1/4 cup of the shredded cheddar to the top of it, and then you're going to cover it. One thing I didn't show here is covering it, but you do want to cover it because you want that cheese to melt, but if you don't cover it, it's going to get real dark real fast. So covering it actually does make it much better, and I'll show you in a minute. Because I actually do cook it for another, see, I put it in for another 5 minutes. And it's at this point it's covered, although I don't show you. It is covered. And it was actually, and I did actually bump it up to 400 degrees for about 5 to 10 more minutes. But if you start it out, you don't have to put it in again. So you just cook it at 25 minutes at 400 degrees. At about 20 minutes, you take it out. You put some shredded cheese on top. You put some aluminum foil over the top. You let it cook for another 5 to 10 minutes, and it is nice and cooked through. And you see it's not too dark on top, but the cheese is nicely melted. And again, I'm putting some more cheese up on top. Oh, I see. I'm putting a little bit more cheese on top, and I'm going to put it back in for about 3 to 4 minutes until it's nice and melted, and the top is golden but not burnt. You don't want it burnt. I have done that before. The cheese gets burned so easily. You want to keep your eyes on it to make sure that it doesn't. See, I have it here for 425, and now it's going to come out. And there it goes underneath, and you see how just absolutely delicious this is. Now, you can very easily cut this in half and make it wonderful. Here's my bite. It was so good. My whole family has eaten off of this, and it really is so wonderful.